If you don't vote, man, you need to tone down a little bit because you're talking a little too loud about something that you don't participate in. And for those that gonna say, "Oh man, I do vote, I do vote, I do vote," the numbers don't lie. According to this Pew Research study, we're seeing that in America, it's scary. It's just flat out scary the amount of people that don't vote. In the last three elections, we've had only 30% of the population vote. 30%. 30%. Now, there's some that are going to say they don't vote for various reasons or I don't vote for this party or that party. Let me stop you there. I'm talking about vote, period. Democrat, Republican, Green Party, Independent, whatever. Only 30% of the population is voting. And that's according to the Pew Research study. I put it on the screen for you if you want to see it. It's alarming because when you go online, you see a lot of people have a lot to say about voting. And it can't just be that 30% that's having something to say. I hear the argument that, hey, well, I'm tired of the same two demographics or same two, old white men getting picked to the president of the United States, and we only get to pick 10 old white guys. Well, that argument is kind of put on his head when you look at the numbers and you're saying you don't want to pick between old white guys when you're allowing white people, white adults, to mainly pick it. Because when you look at the demo, we break the demographics down, something like 43% of white adults. Let me get my numbers up. Let me get my numbers up. 43% of white adults have voted in the last three elections. You compare that to 27% of black adults. Compare that to 21% of Asian adults and 19% of Hispanic adults. So I don't want to hear that argument that, oh, well, we got to just pick between all these same old white guys. When you're letting white adults pick it, what did you expect going to happen? It's not hard to figure out when you start to look at the numbers, because when you look at the numbers of people that aren't voting, pull up my numbers again. I like the numbers. When we look at the numbers of people that aren't voting, there's a big disparity when you look at income of non-voters. Something about 59% of non-voters in 2018 made below $50,000. In 2022, that number dropped to 52%. The higher the earning category for that family, the more likelihood they were going to be voting. Now, there's a lot of people that say, well, voting doesn't change anything. Voting doesn't change anything. That's why we're stuck in this, predicament we're in. So I'll ask this question. And it was, I'll even, give credit to Martin Lamont Hill because I seen him bring it up. And I thought that was an interesting point you made. For those that don't want to vote or choose to vote, do a protest vote, vote for Green parties, this party, whatever, whatever they want to vote for. How's that worked out for you in the last 8 years? Almost 20 states, I believe it is, have open primaries, but Bernie Sanders is the only independent that's, out there doing this thing. So when we talk about protest votes and voting third party and all this other jazz, how's that worked out? So no matter why you don't vote, I need you to change that mindset, because no matter how you feel about the Republican Party, no matter how you feel about the Democratic Party, those are the two main parties that are in play. That's what we have to deal with. If you don't like those candidates, run yourself. But if you're not going to run, just vote. Peace.